accounts. We get you everything covered from ground zero. Not just that, viewers, we are also going to talk about how there is a larger conspiracy to what's been happening across the country, who is lighting and fanning the fire, fueling this communal fire. Also, how influencer Orry, who never leaves a chance to appear on camera, has gone suddenly into hiding after he drew brick bats and, of course, a probe for his activities in Katra near the Mata Vaishno Devi shrine. All right, viewers, next we have how there is excitement across India, across the world, in fact, for Sunita Williams' homecoming, touchdown on Earth after 9 long months. And finally, what to expect from the very important phone call between Donald Trump and also Vladimir Putin, the Russian president. It's a very, very important call that is going to happen over Ukraine ceasefire. All right, we start with what's happening in Nagpur, viewers. Now, this city has been on the edge since last night after violence sprung up in various parts of the city. Protests had happened in the afternoon over the moving of a tomb of Mughal ruler Aurangzeb. Now, vandalism, arson, Nagpur witnessed a night of heavy violence, and now a curfew has been put in place in several parts of Nagpur, viewers. Hindu properties have been targeted. Even the cops, DCPs, have been attacked. We also get you what's happening on ground zero. Here's a look.
There is a Hindu family whose house was in fact attacked out here, and there were multiple such motorbikes and scooters which were parked on this very place. Their houses were in fact attacked out here. Would request my video journalist Kanti Parmar to show you the visuals. These are the articles that have been in fact burnt and which were torched. And these vehicles were torched by the miscreants who had come yesterday, and they had attacked this very house. And in fact, people living in this very house were also got injured.
यहाँ फ्लैक्स वगैरह इन लोगों को सबको मालूमात है कि मैं यहाँ झांकियों का निर्माण करता हूँ। इन्होंने पहले गीतांजलि टॉकीज पे यानी दंगा फसाद किया गया, उसके बाद में इधर से आके इन्होंने सबसे पहले सीसीटीवी कैमरे को यानी ब्रेक किया गया, फोड़ा गया। उसके बाद ये डेकोरेशन वगैरह निकाल के गाड़ियाँ निकाल के जलाने में ये किए। उसके बाद हमारे गली का जो दरवाज़ा है तोड़ के हमारे घरों में यानी घुसने की कोशिश की। पेट्रोल बम बना के उन्होंने घरों पे फेंके, ईंटें पत्थर फेंके, तलवारें, लोहे की पाइप, लकड़ियाँ, ऐसा हमारे घरों पे फेंकने में आया, पत्थरबाजी की।
ये तमाम बाइकें हैं जो कि इस हिंसा की शिकार हुई, आगजनी इनमें कर दी गई, तोड़फोड़ इनमें कर दी गई। बाइकों के अलावा आप सीसीटीवी कैमरे यहाँ पर रखे हुए देख लेंगे। ये सभी वो सबूत है जो कि सबूतों को नष्ट करने की कोशिश उपद्रवियों द्वारा की गई। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी बात, पेट्रोल बम का जिक्र किया जा रहा है। वो पेट्रोल बम दरअसल है क्या और उसका इस्तेमाल किस तरीके से किया गया, वो मैं अब आपको दिखाने वाला हूँ। अगर मेरे विजय अभिषेक यहाँ पर दिखाएंगे, ये देखिए, ये बाइक यहाँ पर खड़ी हुई है और ये पूरा एक कंपाउंड है जिसमें तमाम बाइकें खड़ी थी, जिसको आग लगा दिया गया। पेट्रोल बम का इस्तेमाल कैसे किया गया, ये देखिए, ये स्प्रे की बोतल है, ये देखिए, ये स्प्रे की बोतल है और आप इसको देखेंगे ये पूरे तरीके से काली हो चुकी है। बताया जा रहा है कि स्प्रे से जो केमिकल निकला उसमें आग लगाई गई और उसके बाद इसको फेंका गया उन सभी जगहों पर जहां पर बड़ी संख्या में ज्वलनशील पदार्थ थे। लेकिन उससे पहले क्या किया गया, उससे पहले आप ये स्कूटी देख रहे हैं, इन सभी के जो टंकी है उसको लीक किया गया। पहले बाइकें तोड़ी गई, उसमें से पेट्रोल टैंक है उसको लीक किया गया और उसके बाद स्प्रे की बोतल को तोड़कर उसमें आग लगाकर उसको आगे फेंका।
मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि प्लान करके आए थे,
जानबूझ के
प्लान करके एक
अटैक कर रहे हैं।
हाँ। इन्होंने सबने शटर लगा दिए ना, 6 बजे से चालू कर दिया इन्होंने।
अच्छा।
शटर लगा दिए पूरे
अपनी दुकानों की शटर।
सब अपनी दुकानों के शटर लगाना चालू कर दिया उन्होंने। बराबर प्लानिंग कर बकाबक लोग आए, फिर यहाँ जमा हुआ, वहाँ जमघटा हुआ वहाँ पे, फिर वहाँ से माहौल चालू हो गया वहाँ से।
घर में तो डर लग रहा था ना भाई, इतने नज़दीक सब हुआ तो इधर भी तो डर तो है सबको भी।
हमको बहुत डर लग रहा था। जो लोग थे ना वो भागते भागते जा रहे थे, भागते भागते हम लोगों ने लॉक करके अंदर ही थे हम लोग।
वो हमें आइडिया नहीं, लेकिन जब हम घर पे थे तो हमें बहुत सारी शोर की आवाज़ सुनाई दी पुलिस वालों की और उनके हाथ में वो जैसे बॉम्ब जैसा कुछ था जो वो पुलिस वालों के ऊपर फोड़ रहे थे। और यहाँ पे भी 3 फोड़े हमारे सामने, और यहाँ पे 2-3 लोगों को उन्होंने पकड़ा था, उसमें से 2 तो भाग गए थे, एक उनके हाथ में आए और उनको बहुत मारा उन्होंने, और एक के हाथ में चाकू था तो वो मारने वाले थे उनको। वो हमको आइडिया नहीं वो एग्जैक्टली क्या होता है। वो मिट्टी का कुछ था,
पुलिस के ऊपर फेंक
रहे थे पत्थरबाजी यहाँ से बहुत। वहाँ पे यहाँ पे 2 लोग थे जो यहाँ के पुलिस वालों को पत्थर मार रहे थे।
वो सब हरी टोपी लगा कर वो बांध कर वो अलग ही लोग थे, दिख रहे थे।
So you heard, viewers, on camera what the people faced and what they told us, and they are sharing it with you. Republic investigation proving that Muslim mob was provocative. Last evening, viewers, at least 80 to 100 people from the community turned violent, and stones were thrown at the cops as well. They were attacked with axes also, and several vehicles were set on fire. Police used mild force in the form of lathi charge and tear gas just to disperse them. And what we know as per police, that the trouble began late afternoon, shortly after Bajrang Dal members had demonstrated near the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. But viewers, if you see the visuals around me, you see that this is not just happening in Nagpur. Few days back, we saw what happened in Mahu of Madhya Pradesh. We saw just because a few people were celebrating India's victory in the Champions Trophy on a Sunday night, they got attacked. And again, there was the conspiracy angle coming to the fore in Mahu as well. You go a little behind, you go a little back, and you have Sambal. What happened in Sambal? What happened in Jahangirpuri in Delhi? Everywhere you see how this mobilization is happening and provocation is happening. My colleague Sandeep is joining us on the broadcast. Sandeep, clearly we can see, while even if you check what's happening as per the CCTV footage or the eyewitness accounts, how the police have been attacked as well. It all goes on to say that it was a pre-planned violence. There is petrol bomb, there are sharp weapons and stones that are all being gathered and put to use here.
Rakshita, not only that, I had just a word with my sources in Nagpur police. They confirmed me with the fact that not only just petrol bomb, not only just sharp weapons, but also stones were pelted from the terraces of their very building and their houses out there. So definitely this raised a lot of question that how come a mob of more than 100 people got together and indulged into such kind of a violence. Not only that, from where these stones had come. This is one of the important question, and if at all the stones were coming from the terraces of the building, then it is very much clear that these stones were in fact kept on the terraces and then were used later in the evening during the violence that erupted. And remember, at that very point in time, not just sharp weapons, weapons like axes were also used on a police officer. One of the DCP has got injured. Injured Niketan Kadam. He has got injured because one of the person in the mob had attacked him with the axe. So ultimately, no weapons have been left to, you know,
and we see the same playbook,
very,
you know, Sandeep, in every city that we witness such communal violence and how the communal fire has been fueled. We saw that in Jahangirpuri as well. We saw that in Mahu as well. We saw that in Sambal, how, you know, stones were found in the houses of several individuals and thrown from the terrace. It's all as a planned conspiracy that is completely being pointed at. Thank you so much, Sandeep, for joining us from Nagpur right now. And viewers, shift our focus to story number 3 right now. That is how socialite influencer Orry, that is Orhan Abadramani, among the 8 people booked for consuming alcohol and non-vegetarian food at the base camp of Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine, has been now going missing. He's off radar, viewers. Jammu and Kashmir police filed an FIR yesterday. There are more calls for him to be, to be summoned and for action to be taken against. And his phone has gone off. His phone is not reachable. It's the same Orry. We've seen that he leaves no chance, no stone unturned to pose before the camera, but now he's incommunicado. He's nowhere to be seen, viewers. And now we are being joined by a special guest, Mr. Rakesh Wazir, who is the president of Katra Hotel Association, is joining us. Mr. Wazir, thank you so much for joining us on Republic TV. It's a big question on how alcohol was being served at a place where it is prohibited, alcohol and non-veg food. This is a hotel where where Orry and many others were partying, and no one gets to know. And when hotel alerts the police, they're already left.
Jai Matadi, actually, for the public, it is very important to tell that in Katra, Vaishno Devi track and around, meat, non-vegetarian items and liquor is totally banned. And we, the hoteliers of Katra, even going ahead, do not use even onion and garlic in our hotels, which is not prohibited. What we on our own do not use that. But this incident came into the knowledge of the hotelier, with whom I talked also, that this man along with 6-7 other persons consumed alcohol inside the room of the hotels. And when hotelier came to know about it, he informed the police immediately and FIR is lodged. And we condemn it hugely and request all the people from all over India and world that Katra is a very poised place and it is known for its sanctity.
Yes. Mr. Wazir, I want to understand from you, has there any action been taken, sir? Mr. Wazir, any action has been taken against the hotel or not?
No, there is no fault of hotel, because hotel is the one who informed the police, and this is not used in common area. It is used inside his room, which the hotelier came to know, and he was the one who informed the police.
The hotel got to know about it on 15th March, sir, and they reported it on 16th afternoon. So there was a lot of time for them to also flee.
No, it is not like this. Actually, this incident happened inside the room, and that man had gone to Vaishno Devi, locking his room. When in the morning, the boy went inside the room and he saw that liquor bottle is there, he informed the police. And then this man did not come to the hotel even. He went outside and he went from straight from Vaishno Devi to Mumbai or wherever he went. And he did not come even hotel even. Otherwise, he would have caught over there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wazir, for joining us on Republic TV and sharing what your side and conveying that message here on Republic TV. Viewers, we shift our focus to the other story that we are tracking now. NASA astronauts Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore are scheduled to return to Earth after spending 9 long months, almost more than 9 months in space. And that could be a very, very challenging experience for anyone. And everybody is waiting to hear from Sunita Williams, of course, when she'll be back tonight around 3:30 to 3:45 a.m. Republic TV will be getting you a 360-degree coverage of that. And there will be, of course, an American and Russian cosmonaut accompanying both of them. And also, this is happening. We haven't seen such a long stay in the longest time. Prime Minister Modi has also written a letter to Sunita Williams and saying that entire country is praying for her. In fact, we have Director of Space Application Center, ISRO, Mr. Nilesh M. Desai, joining us. Mr. Desai, well, it of course is a challenging entire stay. Entire stay has been very challenging for the two astronauts. But tell us more about this journey, this 17-hour journey back home on Earth, and what changes will both of them experience once they land here on Earth?
Yeah. Good evening. So, as you have been mentioning, this is going to be a very eventful journey for both Sunita Williams as well as Orry Wilmore. They have
So there seems to be a problem with your audio. We'll try and fix your audio there, as it's an erratic audio that we are receiving right now. But viewers, all right, I'm told that Mr. Desai is back. Sir, please go ahead.
Yes, so after 17 hours, they'll be back on the Earth, and they'll be landing at around early morning, 3 o'clock or 3:30, around that. So it will be a very eventful journey, and they'll be re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. And that is the most crucial part of the re-entry, which will be happening early morning tomorrow. And we are very hopeful of a very safe and successful return of Sunita Williams after spending almost more than 9 months in space along with Orry Wilmore. You may be aware that they went in the Boeing Starliner on 5th June 2024. Yes. They were supposed to, it was an 8-day mission. They were supposed to come back after 8 days. But due to some gas leak problem developed in the thrusters, NASA decided that it is not safe to return them in the same Starliner. So they were put onto the International Space Station. And again, the occasion arose in September when the Crew 9 went to International Space Station. Yeah. But since there were other 4 astronauts who were scheduled to return back, so their turn didn't come during that Crew 9 journey in September 2024. So after NASA always had
Seems to be a problem there with your connection. Thank you so much, Mr. Desai. That's all the time we have in this for this story on Right Now on 6 Stories at 6. We shift our focus to the other big story that we're tracking, and it's India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar yet again calling out West's hypocrisy. Dr. Jaishankar slammed the West over having double standards on the Kashmir issue, saying that an invasion had been reframed as a dispute. He emphasized the need for a strong and fair United Nations. He didn't spare United Nations. As always, without mincing his words, in classic Jaishankar style, the West has been schooled yet again. Here's more.
Speaking at Raisina Dialogue today, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar took a sharp jibe at United Nations and West over Kashmir. He criticized United Nations for turning the Kashmir invasion into a dispute and treating both the attacker and victims as equal.
After the Second World War, the longest standing illegal, I would say, presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India. What we saw in Kashmir. Now, we went to the UN. What was an invasion was made into a dispute. So, the attacker and the victim were put on par. Who were the culpable parties? UK, Canada, Belgium, Australia, USA. So, pardon me, I have some question marks on that whole topic.
Jaishankar called the occupation of some parts of Kashmir by Pakistan the longest standing illegal occupation of territory by any country after the Second World War. The minister also stressed the need for the international order and fairness, saying that a strong global order must have some basic consistency of standards.
I think we do need an international order, just like we need a domestic order. So if you need a society in a country, you need an international version of that. And it's not just big countries who will benefit if there is no order. I would argue that any country which will take risks, which will have extreme positions, which would, test the system, will actually use disorder to its advantage.
He also called for an audit of how the world has functioned over the past 8 decades. He argued that the global power dynamics have changed and the international system must reflect this reality. EAM Jaishankar's strong remarks reflect India's growing assertiveness in shaping global conversation on fairness and international governance.
Other big international story, US President Donald Trump is also set to speak to his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin later today. In fact, in just a while from now, between 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., we expect that call to happen. And this will be, of course, on the Ukraine peace deal, the ceasefire deal. And Trump says that many elements of a final agreement have already been reached, but much of it remains. And in fact, we will be keeping a close eye on that. We also have journalist Patrick speaking on it. Listen into this conversation I had with him. All right, so for more on this, I'm being joined by independent journalist Patrick Lancaster. Patrick, we have seen how Russia has already put down certain demands. It's a conditional ceasefire that they want to sign up for. Many demands put forth by Putin. Now, Trump is going to have a call in just a few, in some time from now with Vladimir Putin. What could be on the agenda? Because Ukraine is skeptical. It says that it only wants a conditionless agreement from Russia. But what does Russia would be having in mind?
Hi. Thanks for having me on. Just to get right into it, Russia and both Ukraine are almost in an impossible option as far as agreeing on a ceasefire here. Ukraine starts by putting out unrealistic goals or demands in a ceasefire, and which go against Russian law. Regardless what side of the conflict someone favors, the fact is Russian law says that these 5 regions now that are legally part of Russia by Russian law have Ukrainian troops on them. And Vladimir Putin made it clear a year ago in June that there was going to be no ceasefire until Ukrainian troops left these territories. Now, of course, that includes the territories of Donetsk, Lugansk, Zaporozhye, and Kherson, but also now we know Kursk. And I'm here in Kursk on the ground. I've been going with the front line as it goes. I've been documenting Russian forces basically pushing Ukrainian forces out of the Kursk region at an extreme rate. There's many Ukrainian soldiers that have been captured and become prisoners of war. There's a huge amount of Western United States supplied military vehicles that are being captured and actually going to be, from what I'm told by the soldiers on the ground, used back against Ukrainian forces. And this isn't secondhand information. This is everything I'm seeing with my own eyes here. I'm right now near the front line in the Kursk region of Russia. And there's intense battle going on, and Russia is just making gains over gains constantly in the last week here in the Kursk region. Now, for anyone in their right mind to think that Vladimir Putin would be willing to, or Russia for that matter, would be really willing to agree on a conditionless ceasefire and just do what Ukraine and Zelensky wants them to do, it's just a ridiculous idea. It would not benefit Russia at all. Ceasefire should I believe someone that would be joining a ceasefire would expect something to benefit both sides in one way or another. And the only thing that this is going to benefit is Ukraine, giving Ukraine time to regroup, get more weapons from the United States and Western countries, and basically just prepare for the next round of battles with Russia. Now, I think, military analyst would agree that that is not in the best interest of Russia right now, and it's probably not going to happen.
Right, Patrick, thank you so much for joining us with what you have, of course, been reporting and your understanding of this issue that we are tracking right now. Right, that's all from our side on this edition of 6 Stories at 6. We'll be right back with more breaking updates at 6:30.
All hooks open.
All hooks are open. And undocking confirmed. Freedom is free of its moorings. Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore begin their belated trip
Dragon
home.
Separation confirmed.
Undocking occurring right on time at 12:05 a.m. Central Time, 1:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Good motion, good stability on Dragon as it backs away.
Freedom, SpaceX on the big loop, depart burn 0 nominal.
Good opening rate reported by the visiting vehicle.